Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu Krishnam Namasyamyaham Krishne Namarasitravo Vinihataha Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha Krishnadeva Samuthitam Jagadidam Krishnasya Dasosmiham Krishne Tisthati Sarvametadakhilam He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Sriman Narayana. With blessings of Sri Chinna Swamiji, we are continuing Bhagavad Gita. We finished chapter 3. We're starting chapter 4 today. We'll start sharing the screen. Let's chant. Atha Chaturdhodhyayah
Atha Chaturdhodhyayah
Jnana Yogaha
Jnana Yogaha
Sri Bhagavanuvacha
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
Imam Vivasvate Yogam
Imam Vivasvate Yogam
Proktavanahamavyayam
Proktavanahamavyayam
Vivasvan manave praha
Vivasvan manave praha
Manurikshvakave bravit.
Manurikshvakave bravit.
Let's chant together. Sri
Bhagavanuvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavanahamavyayam Vivasvan manave praha Manurikshvakave bravit.
So Lord Krishna is continuing. So far in chapter 3, he explained what is Karma Yoga, why we need to perform Karma Yoga, so why it is suitable for us, so he answered Arjuna's question, and so he said, okay, you have to perform Karma Yoga, and explained everything. Now he's continuing in chapter 4. He's saying, Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam. To rearrange it, Aham Imam Avyayam Yogam Vivasvate Proktavan. What he's saying, Aham, I had explained this eternal Karma Yoga to Vivasvate, to Sun Devata. Okay, specifically mentioned Sun. God is incorrect translation, because there's only one God. Sun Devata. Of course, if Devata is translated as God, and if that is what we are used to, we have to remember that Sun is not the Paramatma. Sun is Devata. Okay, so what Lord Krishna is saying is, I had explained this eternal Karma Yoga to Sun Devata, to Vivaswan. Vivaswan manave praha. So then what Sun did? Sun Devata, Surya, Sun Devata taught it to Manu. Okay, his son Manu. Manu is the so we'll go into who is Manu and all that little bit. So Manu is the progenitor, who is the one who created, who is doing the creation under the control, under the guidance, under the under Brahma, who is again under Paramatma. So from Paramatma, Brahma, Manu, Manu is doing the creation in this Manvantara. It is called, this era is called, every era of creation, there is a Manu who oversees the creation. Okay, who is the one who is the creator? So Sun taught it to that Manu. To this Manu for us is his name is Vaivasvata, because son of Vivasvat. So it is his name is Vaivasvata. So that's why this period for us is called Vaivasvata Manvantara. So Lord Krishna is saying, I told this eternal karma yoga, Avyayam Yogam, to Sun. Sun taught this to Manu, and then Manu who Ikshvakave Abravit. Then Manu taught it to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku is the king, that you may be aware of. So he taught it to Ikshvaku. So like that, this same knowledge, this knowledge is first given to Sun at the beginning of time, then given to Sun gave it to Manu, and Manu gave it to Ikshvaku, and then in the next sloka, Lord Krishna says that it came down from one generation to another generation, like that. Okay, so let us look at this. This is one interesting topic, right? About Manu, about Brahma, right? About this creation, what is the age of Brahma and all that. So let us quickly look at that, because it's interesting. I'm going to share my screen.
Varaprasad garu, a small question.
Sure.
See, the reason why Bhagavan sharing this knowledge, right? For example, here in the Arjuna Vishada Yoga, Arjuna had a Vishadam, so, and he was Manava and he's dead. And I'm wondering why he even had to pass that knowledge to Surya and Sun and Devatas. He's thinking like, I'm not thinking, he's considering all those are like, behave like Manavas. Because see, like what I'm saying is this knowledge is shared because we humans, right? We need that knowledge to, to live a good life. I'm wondering what was the reason the Bhagavan pass on this knowledge to Sun and Sun to.
Okay, so even Sun, any devatas are natural forces. The celestial natural forces. Any devata also has to perform karma yoga. Bhagavan himself is saying that he is following karma yoga. So it is not that only it is for manushas. Of course, animals and the stationary inert objects, they will not be able to practice this. But this particular knowledge is given for everyone, right? And also, typically, Lord cannot come and teach all of us, right? It is obviously he passes it on to a guru, and he passes it on to his disciples. Those disciples will pass on to their own disciples. That's how the knowledge is coming, right? Not just shared. Even including Vedic knowledge, right? It is not that Paramatma will come and teach Vedic knowledge to every person individually. It is passed on from generation to generation. So if your question is, why should it be given to Sun? Even that is a way of passing on, is one explanation. The other one is it is also applicable for everyone. Every devata, manusha, it is applicable. It's not that it is not applicable to them. They're somehow don't have to follow this. It's not. but they will be able to follow easily. I mean, they are the higher beings. So being higher beings compared to us, they will be able to follow this. But unfortunately, we are affected more by the nature, so we will not be able to follow. That's why we think it's more relevant for us, for us to follow. That is true. Devatas are at a higher level, so
Not perfect.
so for example, sun is billions of years he has been. It doesn't take rest. If he's taking rest, that's it. Right? Whatever he's supposed to do, his duty, he's doing it without having any expectations. Just think about it, right? He doesn't have any expectations. Whatever energy is given to him is passing it on, so if we don't pray to him, suddenly like stops, shining. It doesn't do that. So we can see that all the natural celestial, divine entities, they practice this, but we are not able to. So I'm sharing. So basically, sorry. So we are in Kali Yuga, right? So before Kali Yuga, it is called Dwapara Yuga. Before Dwapara Yuga, it's called Treta Yuga. Before Treta Yuga, it's called Krita Yuga or Satya Yuga. Okay, so these 4 yugas together called Chatur Yuga. Chatur means 4. So Chatur Yuga. So Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. Okay, Dwapara Yuga 2 times Kali Yuga, and Treta Yuga is 3 times Kali Yuga. Krita Yuga is 4 times Kali Yuga duration. So if you add all of them, one Chatur Yuga is 10 times Kali Yuga, which is 4.32 million years. Okay, and one Manu, one Manu will oversee creation for 71 Chatur Yugas. Okay, so that is 306,720,000 years. Okay, so there are 14 Manus in one day time of Brahma. Okay, one day of Brahma. So Brahma wakes up, and then the first Manu, he will. So Brahma will pass on the, that. Let us say it's like okay, you start creating. Then the Manu is overseeing the creation for 71 Chaturyugas. Then the second Manu comes, and then third and fourth, fifth, like that. So there are 14 Manus in one day of Brahma, and then Brahma sleeps. That is night time. Okay, so when we see this, between one Manu and another Manu, there is like a transition period. So when Brahma wakes up, there is a small transition period before the first Manu starts creation. And then between the first Manu and the second Manu, there is another transition period. And like that, so there is, if you include the transition periods, plus the 14 Manus who are overseeing the creation for 71, each one creation is overseeing for 71 Chaturyugas. If you add all of them, one daytime of Brahma is exactly 1,000 Chaturyugas. Okay, this is so interesting. So 1,000 Chaturyugas is one daytime of Brahma. And again, Lord Krishna mentioned this 1,000 Chaturyugas, one daytime of Brahma. I mentioned in Sloka chapter 8, Sloka 17, refer to that. So one daytime is how much? 4.32 billion years now. Okay. Then, okay. So 4.2 billion years daytime and 4.2 billion years nighttime. Then again, another day starts for Brahma. 4.32 billion years. So like that, it will continue to go on. Okay. So according to scriptures, we are in the 7th Manos period. His name is Vaivasvata. So it's called Vaivasvata Manvantara. Okay. So in the 7th Manvantara, we are in the 28th Chaturyuga. So we said every Manu period is 71 Chaturyugas. We are in the 28th Chaturyuga. So, and in the 28th Chaturyuga, we are in the Kali Yuga period. Okay. So Kali Yuga, we are 5,125 years into Kali Yuga. So after the leaving of Lord Krishna, Kali Yuga started. So 5,125 years in this Kali Yuga, right? So if you add all of that, okay. So now we are in the 7th Manvantara, 28th Chaturyuga, 5,125 in the Kali Yuga. So total years since the beginning of Brahma day is 1.9 billion years. So approximately 2 billion years. Okay.
In that particular Brahma.
In this particular, today's Brahma, yes. Right? So
Oh,
this is
wow.
only one Brahma, beginning of the Brahma's day. This one day.
Not even a year.
Yeah. Yeah. So we are in the 7th Manvantara. So it's like in the days half of the day, like in the midday for Brahma now. Okay. So because total 14 Manvantaras in one day, right? Okay. So now there is a interesting thing that Sri Rama, when was Sri Rama when did Sri Rama appear on earth?
You said, I think, right?
Which yuga?
Treta Yuga, right? Treta Yuga.
Of course, Treta.
Right.
That is in
Treta Yuga.
28 Chaturyuga. No, sorry.
Treta Yuga.
24th Chaturyuga.
Yeah. So it is not this Chaturyuga's Treta Yuga.
Okay.
It is the 24th Chaturyuga.
Yeah.
Okay. We are in the 28th Chaturyuga. So 24th Chaturyuga, in that Chaturyuga, Treta Yuga he was there. So if he lived for 11,000 years. Okay. So now we don't know which part of the Treta Yuga he was, right? I mean, let's approximate. I mean, when we go into those numbers, it's all approximation anyway, right? So if we approximate that, then we get 18 million years ago he was there. Okay. So 24th Chaturyuga, after Treta Yuga, we have the Dwapara Yuga and Kali Yuga. So add those number of years. Then you have 25th, 26th, and 27th Chaturyugas full. And each is 4.32 million years. And then the 28th Chaturyuga so far, we have Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and in Kali Yuga, we are 5,125 years. So I think, this should be 5. So it's total 18,149,125 years, approximately. Okay, 18.2 millions. Lord Sri Rama appeared on earth.
So Krishna was from that 24th Chaturyuga or
No, this 28th. Krishna
28th,
is very,
very recent. Okay.
I mean, this Chaturyuga, it was at the end of Dwapara Yuga. I mean, the entire Mahabharata happened close to the end of Dwapara Yuga. Okay, so then what happens is there is transition from one Manvantara to another Manvantara. So it is not the full pralayam happening, right? So, but at the end of Brahma's day, after 14 Manvantaras over, there is absolute, Brahma sleeps, no creation happening. Okay, right? And then when Brahma wakes up, then the creation starts again. Okay, so it is not like, I mean, I had a doubt like, oh, when you're going from Dwapara Yuga to Kali Yuga, then there should have been some pralaya or something like that, right? It didn't happen. Doesn't happen that way. Simply going from one yuga to another yuga, right? There could be, like from one Manu to another Manu, there could be, a mini pralayas or something like that possible. But absolute no creation is when Brahma's night, when it is Brahma's
When
night,
he goes to sleep.
when he goes to sleep. Okay, so now let us look at one day of Brahma is 1000 Chaturyugas, 4.32 billion years, and one night time is another 4.32 billion years. So one day, full day, 24 hours is, like day plus night for us, right? So 8.64 billion years, and 1 year of Brahma, approximately 360 if you multiply, then this many trillion, right? Billion, trillion. Oh, it's more than trillion. So that's 1 year, and one lifetime of Brahma is 100 years. Okay. Now it's a huge number. Now the one lifetime of Brahma is over, another Brahma will start. Okay. Like this Brahma, at the same time, there are other Brahmas doing the creation. Imagine.
So pralaya
Like,
come from one Brahma to another Brahma. It's night, it will come.
yeah, night also there is pralaya, right?
Even when the transformer to another Brahma, we call it as
yes.
pralaya. Oh.
Yeah, that also, I mean, that is absolute. So everything goes back into Paramatma at that time.
Okay.
Even the Brahma will go back. Okay, so Brahma also is a jiva like us. So he has to, I mean, I'm assuming that he will get moksha, but he's also like us only. He did his duty for 100 years of his years, not our years.
Thinking what happens when Brahma blinks his eye. How many years would pass?
Yeah, so that is a good point. So I mean, 1 day of Brahma is 8.64 billion years, right? And let us take, try to compare. We have 86,400 seconds in a day for us, right? 24 times 60 times 60. Okay, so 1 second of Brahma, one equivalent second of Brahma, if you really see, if you divide these two numbers, you get 100,000 human years. Okay, so 1 second elapses for Brahma. For us, it will pass 100,000 years for us. Okay, so if let us say our average lifetime is 100 years, then we get 1,000 births, assuming that we live for X number of years and then take another birth, exactly in the duration of 100 years. The gap is 100 years, let us say, or we live for 100 years and then take another birth immediately. So 1,000 births happen in 1 second of Brahma. So Brahma closes his eyes and then opens. Approximately 1 second, we would have taken 1,000 births.
I
Sir,
think this on Manish's
you
question, right? I heard a story, right? When Ravana was born, Ravana's mom takes him to Brahma, and Brahma says, "Let me just come back up to my restroom." By the time he's back, Ramayana was over. It seems that's I don't know. I mean, I heard that from wife. Yeah. Because that like you said, a blink kind of a thing, right? Depending on how many years Ravana lived, right? By the time he is back after after his Kala Kuchas and all those things, Ramayana was over.
Yeah, it will be. So now imagine how many how many times we would have taken birth in this lifetime of Brahma so far.
You can't count, right? That's so many.
Yeah. Think if from within one day, it's like 800 million births.
Yeah.
So we are at least 800 million births, and now we are actually now this Brahma is not the first Brahma. There's another Brahma before him, and like that, right? So how many millions, billions, zillions of births we would have taken? That much karmic bondage we are carrying. Okay.
Sir, you used one more sentence. What I understood is, based on your sentence, multiple Brahmas are doing the creation parallelly in the universe. Is it right statement, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Can you please explain that one?
Yeah. So this Brahma is responsible for creation under, whatever is given to him. Like that, there is another Brahma given responsibility of creation. He may be, I'm saying he, but they may not. We cannot say it's a male or female, right? But let us take him as a male for simplicity's sake. So he may be doing the creation maybe at a beginning of his life or end of his life, right? Or middle. So that's why Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. That's what we say about Paramatma. So there are like this anda. So this kind of let us imagine this whole creation is one sphere. Let us say in that this Brahma is doing all the creation, right? Under this Brahma, this Manu is doing the entire creation, right? Under his guidance. Now, but let us take Brahma. This Brahma is doing the creation within this anda. So his scope is this particular, whatever space that is given to him, whatever material that is given to him, whatever jivatmas that are given to him. Okay, you do the creation. Okay, like
in
this Brahma,
in this earth.
Yeah, not earth. Whatever you can see in the universe is under this Brahma only.
Okay.
So it is not like
universe one.
I mean, we couldn't even go to the edge of this particular creation, right? So this earth is like, I mean, we can't even see once you really go to a higher level, can't even see. This entire solar system also we cannot even recognize, as we go up and up. It's a very good, there's a very good video about it. So this Brahma is doing the creation of this entire universe as we see, but there could be other parallel universes like this under the control, under the creation of another Brahma. All these Brahmas are given that ability to create by Paramatma. So Paramatma is such a supreme being, right? Is the one and only independent entity in this entire universe, in this entire creation. So when one Brahma, let us talk about our Brahma, like when the lifetime of Brahma is over, then everything goes into him. into Paramatma. And then another Brahma is given the responsibility, another the creation starts again.
So it's both true, sir. Both, like, simultaneously Brahmas are there,
Yes.
and one to the other. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, of course, that's what the scriptures say there, but we are not even able to go to the edge of this particular Milky Way
Yes.
galaxy. So like this, so many galaxies are there in the universe. Clusters of galaxies and all that.
So think about it. How many people like us, or how many jivas are praying to the God when compared with all Brahmandas? God might be very busy.
Yep. For him, this is nothing, right? So, okay. That's why when Lord Krishna lifted the hill, Govardhanagiri, it's not like he had to put a lot of effort. There's nothing for him. For other people, they look, oh my God, did he fall down? He's a small boy and all that. But for him, his will itself was sufficient. Okay. So that is what. So at the beginning of this Manvantara, Lord Krishna gave this knowledge of Karma Yoga to Sun. Sun gave it to this Manu, the Vaivasvata Manu. And then Manu gave it to Ikshvaku, Ikshvaku gave it to the other. So we'll go to the next loka. Okay.
Brother Prasad, one question. Since we were talking about Brahma, like I'm just curious how we always hear Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Like Brahma is the creator, Vishnu is protector or he maintains it, and the Shiva is the destroyer. So does this apply to all three lineage, or how exactly?
Yeah.
This?
So without going into all the details, so devatas are all will merge into him. Like it's like any other jivatma.
So for every time the creation is happening, there could
Sorry, when I say merge into him, will be at the end of their, let's say this particular creation, this Brahma is doing the creation, and once Brahma's lifetime is over, then the Jivatma of Brahma will go into Paramatma for the next creation to start. I mean, for him to take another birth, if at all he is supposed to take another birth. The same applies to all devatas. So, I mean, otherwise, I mean, it will become a little controversial to some people, like, okay, why are you saying this and that? But let us, Paramatma is one, okay? God, Paramatma is one. Everything else is, the creation in 4 categories of beings. Deva, Manusha, Tiryak, Stavara. They are like what we learned earlier. So Devatas are higher divine celestial entities, forces of nature. That's what we understand. Like Varuna Devata is for rain, Agni is for fire, So Brahma is for creation. Indra is who is going to control the other Devatas, who is the ruler of other Devatas. So like that, so we have all the Devatas. Now, Manushas, all of us, Tiryaks are animals and birds, and Stavaras are, for example, the non-moving inert objects like mountains. Okay, so all this entire creation is done by Paramatma. But of course, Paramatma is allocating, assigning the responsibility to each of these devatas to run the show, right? Like Brahma is given the responsibility, energy, to create this. Brahma is not doing on his with his own energy, with his own knowledge. He is given that ability. So Brahma is creating like that. Say Varuna Devata is giving us rain. Sun Devata is giving us solar energy. So like that, every Devata is given, every Manushya is given, all of us are given the abilities. Unfortunately, we think we are doing everything, right? But it is Paramatma who gave us the ability. Even the Atmas are given the ability. So he is the one who is placing Atmas in each of that particular energy, right? That it's not like the say I as an Atma can decide what birth I'm going to take, how I'm going to take birth, when I'm going to take. I cannot do that. So there's some system in place where all this is happening under his command. Okay, so all this creation, it goes on, and at the end of Brahma's life, all the Jivatmas and the Prakriti, the nature, the Asat, the insentient entity, that entire thing the Jivatmas and the nature will be absorbed into him, will remain dormant. And then when the Srishti starts again, they are taken out and the Srishti, and then another Brahma is given the responsibility of creation. Then the Brahma will create Devatas, Manushas, Tiryaks and Tavaras. And then Devatas will start doing their duties, Manushas will do their duties, like that. So, got it? I mean, we'll keep it to that level. We'll keep it to that level because otherwise,
with our human brain, it's not easy to comprehend it. Like,
right. So then, who is that God? What is the name that I give? That people have their own interpretations. But if we consider that God is one independent entity who is doing this entire creation, so whose abode is Paramapada. When what Lord Krishna is mentioned. So here, one thing that we need to remember is Lord Krishna is declaring that he is Paramatma, right? We are all Jivatmas, he's declaring. Okay, everyone else is Jivatma. I am the one who created it. So Lord Krishna is the avatar of that Paramatma. Okay. So it's not that Lord Krishna, as Lord Krishna is doing the creation, right? Lord Krishna is the avatar of that Paramatma. That Paramatma is doing the creation. Paramatma is the one who created. Lord Krishna is incarnation. He has a definite start, birth, and and then he had to leave his body, whatever body he took as Krishna, that he left when the purpose is over. This is very important. That he's going to explain his avatar rahasyam, his avatar knowledge in the next few slokas. And that itself, Avatara Rahasya Jnanam, is one of the means of attaining moksha. So if we understand his avatars, the Avatara Rahasya, or the secret of his avatara, if we can call it, Avatara Rahasya is the one that the precious knowledge about his avatars, that itself will lead us to moksha.
Yeah, only one question coming in my mind, but maybe somewhere in the any scriptures it's mentioned. But what could be the reason why Paramatma had to create all this? Thinking.
What could be the reason?
Like why all this creation? Why do all the like? No.
Yeah. So we are taking births again and again because of our karmic bondage, right? So once we don't have any karmic bondage, we'll be, or once we are cleared of our karmic bondage, then we will be reaching the stage where we do not have to take birth again. We will be reaching his abode, permanent abode, and we don't have to take birth again in any creation. Okay, any of the Brahma's creations. Okay, so then somebody, if your question is that, how did it start on day one?
Yeah, I mean, this human life is a different. But I'm talking from the Paramatma itself. Why did he have to create Brahma and have them?
Yeah, that because it is a sequence, right? I mean, we need somebody to do the creation job. So Brahma is given that duty. We need somebody to take care of whatever we need. So, for example, sun is giving us all the energy. The energy on earth is primarily due to sun. So if we don't have sun, then we'll all, basically, if we don't get sun energy, solar energy, we'll not be able to take birth, will not live here. So someone is, they are all these devatas are given responsibilities and they are doing their jobs. We are also given the responsibility, we are doing our job. The problem is we are thinking it is our duty, our job. This is mine. Ahankara and Mamakara is the one that is coming into picture, which is causing us karmic bondage. So if once our karmic bondage is cleared, we will be able to reach Paramatma. And this is a classic question that somebody may ask, okay, why did, at the beginning of time, probably we didn't have any karmic bondage, then why did this whole creation start, right? That we don't have to think. No. I mean, basically our duty at this time is to how we can come out of this particular state, not how we reach this state. Okay, so we are even if we try to understand, right, we will not be able to understand and appreciate it. So what is more relevant is just follow the Karma Yoga principle and reduce our karmic bondage and be on the path to reach Paramatma. In the recent past, we can clearly say, okay, we had karmic bondage, that's why we took those many births, like 800 million births so far in this Brahma day. So sorry. Okay, so sorry, you had a question? Sorry. No? Okay. So we are, again, just to summarize, so many births we are taking and then continue to take birth. And we acquire karmic bondage if we don't follow karma yoga principles. And so it is our, this particular life that we get, the human life that we get is so precious. Now imagine how many species are there who can actually get this particular knowledge and go to a higher stage. Fortunately, we are able to. So hope we can make the best use of it.
But there is no beginning or end, right, sir? It's infinite. It's like
Yeah, so that is the thing. Like
the
we had
question.
before
There's
this Brahma, another Brahma was there, another Brahma
Yeah,
was
it's
there.
like
So we are probably there for eternal,
forever.
right?
Yeah,
So
because
we don't know when it all started. Okay, probably it was there perpetually, and then how we ended up taking births compared to somebody else. That I think we can leave that. It's a question that we won't understand.
if you believe in Atma, right? Atma is like general. No, what do you call national?
No birth, yeah. So as
Yeah.
Atma, we don't have a birth. So we are there from like we can't even say trillions of. I mean, even if you go back trillions and trillions of years, we are there, right? So at that time, what was our karmic bondage that made us take birth? Okay, somebody may question, oh, if I go even another trillion years before that, maybe I didn't have that much karmic bondage, then why did I take birth? Or if I had zero karmic bondage, why did I take birth? But this is a continuous process. So no matter how many more Brahmas in the past that we go, we probably had karmic bondage. So it's now we will not be even able to comprehend those numbers, so it's going on, that it's continuing. Okay, let us look at the next sloka. Look at two. I'm sharing the screen now. Okay. Sloka, second sloka. Evam parampara praptam.
Evam parampara
praptam
Imam rajarshayo viduhu.
Imam
rajarshayo
viduhu
Sakale neha mahata.
Sakale
Sakale
Hamahata
Yogo nastah parantapa.
Yogo Nashta Parantapa
Let's chant together. Evam
Evam
parampara
Paramparapraptam
Imam
Rajarshayo
rajarshayo
Viduhu
viduhu.
Sakale
Sakale
Neha
neha
Mamata
mahata.
Yogo
Yogo
Nashta
nastapa. So in the previous sloka, Lord Krishna said he gave the knowledge to Sun, Sun gave it to Manu, Manu gave it to Ikshvaku. So in this sloka, Lord Krishna is saying, Hey Parantapa, O Arjuna, Evam Parampara Praptam. Thus, like this, Parampara Praptam, handed down from generation to generation. Imam Rajarshayo Viduhu, Rajarshayaha Viduhu. Imam is this, what he is referring to, this Karma Yoga, knowledge of Karma Yoga. This Karma Yoga, Rajarshayaha Viduhu, is the royal sages came to know. So from Sun to Manu to Ikshvaku, and from Ikshvaku to generation after generation, the royal sages are, they came to know about this Karma Yoga. Saha Yogaha, that Karma Yoga, Mahata Kalena Iha Nashtaha. So what's happening, like when it is going from one generation to another generation, what happens is this Karma Yoga, Saha Yoga, that Karma Yoga was lost. Nashtaha was lost, Iha, in this world, Mahata Kalena, due to lapse of long period of time. Okay, so you saw, I mean, the reason why I gave all those numbers earlier is you saw the Manvantara, right? And so one Manvantara itself is so many years. Okay. Lord Sri Rama was in 24th Chaturyuga. It's like 18 million years ago. Imagine that Manu started like 24 Chaturyugas before that. Just four Chaturyugas itself is almost 18 million years. So now imagine 24 before that is so much time. And so it is going on since that time. This Manu gave it to Ikshvaku, who gave it to the next generation like that, and then getting the knowledge is getting distributed. So with that, there is this knowledge of Karma Yoga is lost, or one of the reasons why we can extrapolate is Arjuna, even though he's so uh, he has a lot of knowledge about scriptures, even he didn't get the concept of Karma Yoga that clearly from his guru. So because it is lost, right? So when the message is passed on from one person to another person to another person, after that, if you give like let us say one paragraph to one person and then say, okay, you can read the paragraph like 5 to 10 sentences, read it, keep the paper away, and then tell whatever you remember to the next person. Then the next person will tell the other person. After 20 people, the whole message gets changed. We did this exercise. Now, just 10 sentences going within a quick sequence of time, right? One person to another person, the message is getting lost. Now imagine so many millions and millions of years ago that knowledge was given and is going from one generation to another generation. It is this particular knowledge is lost. Okay. We look at the next sloka also. Then see sloka 3. Sa evayam maya tedya
Sa evayam maya tedya
yoga prokta puratanaha
yoga prokta puratanaha
bhaktosi me sakha cheti
bhaktosi me sakha cheti
rahasyam hetaduttamam.
rahasyam hetaduttamam
Together. Sa
sa
evayam
evayam maya
tedya
tedya
yoga
yoga
prokta
prokta
puratanaha
bhaktosi
bhaktosi
me
me
sakha
sakha
cheti
cheti
rahasyam hetaduttamam.
So Lord Krishna is saying in Sloka 3, Saha Puratanaha Yogaha. Saha is that, is referring to that Karma Yoga, Puratanaha. One translation is ancient, is eternal, ancient, is coming since that time, right? For a long time. Puratanaha is also ever fresh. Okay, so this the I mean the knowledge is lost, but Karma Yoga is not that it is not applicable, right? It is applicable, but we because it is going from generation to generation, that knowledge or the practices are lost. People not practicing that, right? It is not that it is not relevant. It is ever fresh. It is applicable even for today. But unfortunately, because of long duration of time going from one person to another person, generation after generation, that knowledge as well as practices are they got lost. Okay, so he's saying, Lord Krishna is saying, I am this karma yoga, maya adya te proktaha. Maya, by me, adya, now, te proktaha, now taught to you. Okay, so this karma yoga is now taught to you by me. So that karma yoga, which was the one that I gave to son Devata, the same karma yoga I am teaching to you now. Because why? Because it was that knowledge was lost, the practices are lost. So who has to tell? Paramatma is the one who has to tell. Because if Arjuna goes to a person says, okay, teach me karma yoga, they won't be able to, because they are not practicing, they don't have that the original knowledge. So it is Paramatma himself now in Krishna Avatara, Krishna's incarnation, he is giving the same knowledge, okay, to Arjuna. He's saying, why he is doing that? Because Tvam, that is, he's addressing Arjuna, Tvam me bhaktaha sakha cha asi iti. Bhaktosi me sakha cheti, if you split it, okay, bhaktaha asi me sakha cha iti. So bhaktaha and sakha, sakha, so bhakta is devotee. He is the one who surrendered to Paramatma. Arjuna surrendered to Paramatma. He said, okay, give me the knowledge, right? Tell me what I need to do. Guide me. So I'm surrendering to you. So because you surrendered to me, because you are my devotee, and also Sakha, my friend, because you are my friend. Okay. So that's why he's saying, Etat Uttamam Rahasyam. Okay. Maya Adyate Prokta. So I'm that same Karma Yoga concept that I gave to son Devata, I am giving it to you because you are my devotee and friend. And what kind of knowledge is this? Uttamam Rahasyam. Etat Uttamam Rahasyam. He's saying this is so precious and supreme. Okay. Uttamam is supreme. Rahasyam. Rahasyam is mysterious, is what you can say, or it is something that is so precious that you need to protect, right? So, so this particular knowledge I am giving to you. Okay. So one thing that we can understand here is that Arjuna asked the question, do I, what should I do? I don't want to fight, right? So Lord Krishna said, no, you have to do this karma yoga. Now, what Arjuna could have said was, oh, you are just giving me this story, giving me this theory saying that I have to do it just to convince me to fight, right? So Lord Krishna understands, maybe Arjuna may have that kind of a doubt, saying, oh, in order to convince me, you're trying to say something that, oh, I have to do my duty, and no matter what, I have to do it, whether I like it or don't like it, it's something that I have to do without expectations, all that. So, you're just trying to convince me. Lord Krishna is very clear saying, I'm not saying this because I want to convince you. I'm saying this because it's an eternal knowledge that is applicable even today. But since the knowledge is lost, and you are my friend, my devotee, I'm giving this knowledge to you, which is so precious, and the supreme knowledge, right? To clarify that, I'm not just trying to convince you. This is something that you should follow. Okay, because it's an eternal knowledge. Okay, so obviously now the question is, Arjuna gets a doubt, saying that, you're telling me, and then you also told son, right? So it doesn't sound logical, right? When you told son gave to Manu 28 Yugas ago. And so let us see what is Arjuna's question, and then we'll conclude for today. Any questions on this one? Okay, so let us move on to sloka.
One small, sir. So
Sure.
all these years, right, million of years, either no one has seen Vishadam like Arjuna or person like Arjuna. That is why he couldn't pass. Bhagavan didn't feel like giving. We could say that.
Purpose of Lord Krishna's, purpose of the avatara, Lord Krishna's avatara, is to give the message of Bhagavad Gita, because he knew that the practices are lost, right? So you're right. Even before maybe let's say in other Chaturyugas, somebody might have faced Vishada like Arjuna, but they might not.
Surrender to.
Yeah. So it is. So there is a right time for everything, right? Say, for example, Ravanasura, to kill Ravanasura, it took so much time for Lord Sri Rama to appear and then kill him. So it's not like somebody may say, oh, you should have killed Ravanasura when he was born, right? And it's not like that. So there is obviously there's time for everything. So when it is appropriate time, Lord Krishna, again, that is what he will answer in the next slokas, his Avatara Rahasya Jnana. He was waiting for the opportunity for somebody to ask, right? Because without asking, we should not give that. It becomes useless. So when Arjuna approached him and asked him, that's when he started giving this message. It's possible that before him there was no one who would have asked like that.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
So Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Aparam bhavato janma.
Aparam bhavato janma.
Param janma vivasvataha.
Param janma vivasvataha.
Kathame tadvijaniyam.
Kathametadvijaniyam.
Tvamadau proktavaniti. Let's chant together. Aparam bhavato janma.
Param Janma Vivasvataha Tatkametad Vijaniyam Bhagavado Yodavaniti.
So Lord Krishna is, sorry. So when Lord Krishna explained to Arjuna that I gave this knowledge to son because of long, long period of time, from generation to generation, this knowledge is passed, the practices are being passed, but due to the long duration of time, they are lost. So now I'm giving this to you because you are my devotee, you surrendered to me, and then you are my friend as well. So that's why I'm giving you. So Arjuna got a doubt. So he said, Bhavataha Janma Aparam. Okay, your birth is very recent, was recent, is almost the same age as Arjuna, some 90 plus years, right? And Vivaswataha Janma Param. Vivaswataha Janma Param, that is, birth of son was long time back, right? Ataha is understood, so therefore, okay, so I'm getting a doubt. Katham Vijaniyam, how am I to understand? Tvamado etat proktavaniti, that you taught this in the beginning. How can I understand? Like, you are born like maybe 90 years ago, and but you are saying that you told son who is like millions of years ago, right? So how is it possible? How can I understand that you taught this knowledge to son at the beginning of this this manvantara, right? So which is a valid question. Now, to answer this question, Lord Krishna gives the Janma Rahasya Jnana. So, just quickly, basically, Arjuna is asking, in a way, he's asking, do you take births like us? Again, this is the knowledge that is given to us by our acharyas, and in the Acharya Parampara, we're getting this knowledge. So by looking at the question that that Arjuna asked, and by understanding the responses that Lord Krishna gave, we understand what are all the questions that are embedded in the just one particular sloka that Arjuna said. So the question, we'll look at just the questions, and then we'll look at the answers that Lord Krishna gives in the next session. So the questions are: do you take birth like us? Okay. So what is your birth really? I mean, you are saying that you gave it at that time, and you are only born around 90 years ago. So how is it possible? What is your birth? Do you take births like us? Are they real? Are they illusionary? Okay. And then he's asking, okay, now you might have taken birth at that time, and you took birth again now, about 90 years ago. How can you recall that, what you did at the beginning of Manvantara? How can you recall your births? And how can I not remember my birth? Okay, what kind of, like when you take birth, what kind of qualities that you are born with? Do you take birth with same qualities? Like what kind of qualities come from one birth to another birth, or in each birth that you have? Okay. So again, how do you remember? One is how you are able to recall your births, and we don't. How do you remember everything that happened in the previous births and we can't? Why do we get, I mean, he's asking, obviously there must be some difference between your birth and my birth. Why do you get the divine body and why don't I have the divine body? What's the difference between your body and my body? Okay. And when do you take birth? What's the time of your birth? Okay, so you took birth at the time. So like exactly the question that Vishaji you were asking. Like, I mean, you took birth at the time in the beginning of Manvantara and you gave this knowledge to Sun. Then you might have taken other births and you took birth as Lord Krishna now. So when do you take birth? What makes you take birth? Right? And then what is the purpose of your birth? So Lord Krishna answered all these questions in the next few slokas. So this is called Avatara Rasya Jnanam. And if we understand this really well, that knowledge will help us perform our duties as service to God. It gives us the knowledge. We will be able to understand the difference between us as Jivatma and Paramatma. Okay, so there is no misunderstanding that I am God. Okay, especially in this slokas, it's very, very clear Lord Krishna's answers that he is differentiating between himself, that is Paramatma, and Jivatmas, other Jivatmas. Okay, so we will see that Avatara Rahasya Jnanam in the next session. Any questions before we conclude? Okay. No questions, then we'll conclude with the concluding prayer. Kayena vacha manasendriyeva buddhyatmana va prakriti svabhavat karomi yajat sakalam parasmai narayanayati samurpayami Sriman Narayana Samarpayami Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu Om Asmakurubhyo Namaha Jai Sri Narayana. Jai Sri Narayana. Thank you everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Okay,